This is Toronto, Ontario, home of O'Connor Bowl, where today Canadian five-pin bowling champion Ian Cameron talks bowling. Ian Cameron, a veteran bowler with a career that covers 25 years. He's a champion at all levels. The Youth Bowling Council, the Masters Bowlers, and the Canadian Five-Pin Bowling Association. Certified as a five-pin bowling instructor, Ian has conducted clinics for bowlers of all ages. In league play, he has carried averages as high as 268 and has a lifetime average of 260.
During this video, we're going to help improve your five-pin bowling game by showing you the importance of exercise, the stance, the approach, the proper release, some spot bowling, how to throw a backup ball and a hook ball. We'll also talk about strikes and how to throw them, and yes, there's more ways than one to throw a strike. We'll also talk about spare shots, and later on in the video, we'll get into some additional skills for the advanced bowler. Joining me now is Brenda Heaney.
Hi, Ian.
Hi, Brenda. Brenda's a national champion in Master Bowlers, and before we go into some exercises, Brenda will take you on a tour through the bowling center. Brenda?
As you enter the bowling center, the first place you come to is the control counter. It's here that you'll meet the person in charge. Hi, Kevin.
Hi, Brenda.
It's also here that you will receive your lane assignment. You will also need some rental shoes. However, some people prefer to purchase their own shoes for better fit and comfort. It's also here that you'll receive any help with any scoring. Now let's go explore the rest of the bowling center. This is the seating area where you'll put on your shoes. It is also the area Ian will show you some exercises later on. As we continue, let's head for the approach. The first thing we come to is a bowling ball. The bowling ball is about 3.5 pounds or 1.5 kilograms, and it's generally the size of a large grapefruit. It's usually made of rubber. As we look down to the approach, it is highlighted by these spots, which Ian will show us how to use in setting up our stance later on. The entire approach is 16 feet, or just less than 5 meters in length. It ends here at the foul line, which you must not go over as you deliver the ball. Beyond the foul line here is the lane itself. It's 60 feet, or approximately 18 meters in length. The first part, up to the arrows here, which are used for spot bowling, is made of a hard maple. The rest of the lane is made of a softwood, usually pine. The pin deck itself is also made of a hard maple. The pins are arranged in a V shape, and the distance between each pin, center to center, is 18 inches or 46 centimeters. Five-pin bowling is undergoing some exciting modernizations, such as this automatic scoring, as well as lounges. These innovations have changed the bowling alley of the past into the modern family-oriented recreation center of today.
Thank you, Brenda, for taking us on that tour of the bowling center. Brenda's not only an accomplished tour guide, she's also a physiotherapist. And at this time, Brenda would like to take us through some warm-up exercises and put me through my paces. Brenda?
Thanks, Ian. Have you ever walked into a bowling center and started to bowl and feel stiff and awkward? Instead of just walking into a bowling center, putting on your bowling shoes and beginning to bowl, you should do a proper warm-up. A warm-up routine, including some stretches, will help to prevent those feelings of stiffness. Not only that, it'll help prepare your muscles better for the activity, and it will help prevent injury. When you walk into a bowling center, you should take your shoes and coat off, put on your bowling shoes, and proceed with a warm-up. A warm-up can just be walking around the bowling center, marching on the spot, or just swinging your arms by the side. Now, I would like to review some key points with regards to stretching. The first two stretches will be for your low back. The first one, just bring your knee towards your chest and hug it in, holding it for a count of 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. The next exercise, standing in that position, put your hands on your hips or your low back and just lean back. Again, hold for a count of 5 and do not bounce. The next exercises are for your legs. The first one is the hamstring stretch. The hamstrings are the muscles on the back of your thigh. The first way to do this one is just put your foot up on a chair or a bench with your leg straight, keeping your back straight, lean towards the straight leg. Again, hold it for a count of 5 and do not bounce. Now, an alternate means of doing this exercise is if you sit on the side of the bench with your leg straight, your other knee over the edge. Again, keeping your back straight, lean towards your straight leg and hold for a count of 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. The next exercise is for the buttocks and groin. With one leg up on a bench or a chair, lean towards the bent leg. Again, do not bounce and hold for a count of 5. The next stretch is for the quadriceps. They are the muscles on the front of your thigh. In standing, grab hold of your foot and pull it towards your seat, keeping your knee facing the ground. Again, hold for a count of 5 and do not bounce. The next stretch is for the Achilles tendon. This is for the muscle group at the back of your calf. Stand on the edge of a step with one foot hanging over the edge. As you lower the heel, you should feel the stretch at the back of your calf. Again, remember, hold for a count of 5 and no bouncing. Now some stretches for the arms. The first one is for some muscles around the shoulder joint. With one arm, reach up behind your back, while with the other arm, you're reaching down. Try to clasp your hands together. Again, hold for a count of 5 and no bouncing. The next stretch is for your shoulder, elbow, wrist, and trunk. Interlace your fingers above your head. With palms facing upward, push your arms slightly up and back. Again, hold for a count of 5. The last stretch is for your trunk and arms, especially the muscle on the back of your upper arm, which is known as your triceps. Reach one arm up behind your head, grab hold of the elbow with the opposite hand. Keeping knees slightly bent, gently pull your elbow behind your head as you bend from your hips to the side. Although we will not be discussing it in detail today, if you were to participate in a general conditioning program and thereby become more fit, it would definitely improve your game. Such a program would consist of a warming up, stretches, strengthening, either by free weights or Nautilus equipment, and a cardiovascular portion, whether it be jogging, swimming, bicycling, or squash.
Now that we've done our exercises, it's time to get on the lanes. Now I'm going to talk about the proper grip and the stance. When I pick the ball off the rack, I hold the ball in my fingers high up on the hand. And as you also notice, there's a pocket right here in my palm. My fingers are spaced evenly around the ball and comfortably. With this type of grip, I can hang onto the ball and have lots of control, as you can see there. The improper way to hold the ball is down in the palm, thusly. When I hold the ball like this and try and hang on to it, you realize I have a lot of difficulty. Then that way I don't have as much control. So again, for proper control of the ball, hold it in the fingers with your pocket, and that way you'll gain a lot more control of your shots. Next we'll go into the stance. Now I'm a right-handed bowler, and I start with my left foot. So I put my right foot down on the approach with the left foot forward slightly. Most of my weight is on my right leg. It's nice and straight. My left leg is ready to take the slide for my first step. Also in the stance, you should hold the ball comfortably with the proper grip. It can be either here at the waist or up a little higher, down a little lower, whatever's comfortable for the individual. Your shoulders should be straight and parallel to the lane. Your eyes should be focused on your target. You should be nice and relaxed through the arm here. Don't be tense. Keep nice and relaxed. Now you're ready to throw the ball.
In the stance, Let's review some of the fundamental points. The ball is held in the fingertip grip. The ball is held comfortably in front of you. There is a proper weight shift. Your eyes are on the target. And don't forget your knees are slightly bent prior to starting your approach.
Before we start our delivery, we first must decide whether we're going to take a 3-step or a 4-step approach. Now that depends on you, the individual. If you prefer to start with your left foot, then you will take a 3-step approach. But if you prefer to start with your right foot, then you will use a 4-step approach. Now once you've decided that, whether you're going to use a 3-step or a 4-step, then you got to find out where your positioning will be on the approach. To do this, we go up to the foul line. Standing here, where our heels approximately 2 inches from the foul line, we then go through our approach. Now mine is a 3-step. 1, 2, 3. And as you notice, when I slide, I'm about 1.5 feet away from these spots. And when I turn around, just to make a check, I'm about 1.5 feet up from these spots now. And as a final check, go back through your approach. 1, 2, 3. And you will end about 2 inches from the foul line. Now I will show you the 3-step approach. In the 3-step, we have 3 basic units. There's the first step and the push away, the second step with the backswing, and then the third and final step or slide with the release and follow through. I will go through this for you right now. Taking your stance, being comfortable. As soon as you start the first step, you then start your push away. And that's the first unit. In the second step, we have the backswing. That completes the second unit. In the third and final slide, we have the release and follow through. It's important for timing that in your first step, as it starts, you start the push away, keeping the arm straight. Then as you take your second step into the backswing, notice the straightness of the arm and the height compared to the approach. On the final slide, as the ball gets down to the bottom of the swing, notice again how straight the arm is, and then the release of the ball, and then the follow through. Now let's do the 4-step approach. Taking your stance, the right foot is slightly ahead, because that's the foot we'll be starting with. When you take your first step, you'll notice the ball stays stationary. After that, we go into our 3 basic units one more time. The first step is with a push away. Second step, we have the backswing. And the third step or slide, we have the release and the follow through. You'll notice in the 4-step approach, as we take that first step, the ball stays stationary. Then after that, we have the same basic units. As you take your second step, you have the push away. Notice the arm position. Then in the third step, we have the backswing. Again, not too high with the backswing, parallel to the lane bed. Then for the final slide, you have the release and the follow through, and with the straight arm, elbow not bent. So there you have the 4-step. We have that first step where the ball is stationary, and then after that, we have our 3 units of the push away, the backswing, the release, and the follow through. In the third unit, we talked about the release and the follow through. This is the culmination of the arm swing and the final slide coming together at a timing point. Timing is one of the keys to good bowling. Coordinating the swing of the right arm with the slide of the left foot is your explosion point. Releasing at the instep, this helps you to produce consistency in your delivery. As you can see here, you're releasing down at the instep with your good lift, good follow through, producing good action on your ball. Here we see in slow motion, we're releasing right at the instep with the lift of the fingers. Let's see that frame by frame now. Sliding the head towards the foul line. Notice how long your slide is here. The ball now comes into play, coming right into that instep, releasing at the fingers, and notice your foot is still sliding at this point. Then the lift and follow through.
In the approach, we'll let you decide. Will it be the 3 or 4-step approach? Ian showed you how to find your starting position. And we've looked at the 3 units of the approach: the push away, the backswing, and the release. For the release, we've stressed these points: the proper timing, the swing of the arm, the slide of your left foot. The ball is released at the instep. And don't forget to follow through.
To become a better bowler, the most important thing you can learn is spot bowling. It's much easier to hit the arrows that are 15 feet away than the pins that are 60 feet away. This aiming technique uses the spots on the approach, the arrows on the lane. To do this, using the center spot on the lane, I stand just a few boards to the left, looking at the arrow, the center arrow down the lane, keeping my eyes on that arrow, not looking at the pins. I then roll the ball over the arrow. The most important instructional point of spot bowling is what to do if you're missing the headpin. If you're consistently missing the headpin to the right, you move your starting spot to the right. If you're consistently missing your headpin to the left, you move your starting spot to the left. Now this is a confusing point, and it's very important, so let me repeat it one more time. If you're missing the headpin to the right consistently, you move your starting spot to the right. If you're missing your headpin consistently to the left, move your starting spot to the left. Now let me show you this in a demonstration. I'm now out in the lanes 15 feet by the arrows, and to do this demonstration, this pointer is the path of your ball. Here's your starting point at your stance. Your ball rolls over the center arrow and hits the headpin. But if you're missing a headpin to the left, what you need to do is change your starting point here to the left. Your ball pivoting on the center arrow will then hit the headpin. Same thing if you're missing to the right. Again, your starting point, moving it to the right, changes the path of the ball over the pivot point, the center arrow, to hit the headpin.
As Ian reminded us, spot bowling is one of the most important instructional points in 5-pin bowling. Remember that spot bowling starts with the approach, uses the arrows on the lanes. If you are missing the headpin to the right, move to the right. The correction for missing the headpin to the left is moving to the left. And that final reminder for everyone: it's easier to hit arrows that are 15 feet away as opposed to the pins that are 60 feet away.
The two most common types of deliveries in 5-pin bowling are the backup ball and the hook ball. The backup ball moves from the left to the right on the lane. Conversely, the hook ball moves from right to left on the lane. The delivery of each ball starts in the grip. With the backup ball, with the thumb at the 12 o'clock position, when you come down through your swing, you rotate in a clockwise direction, releasing off the index and middle finger. With the hook ball, we hold the thumb in the 3 o'clock position. Then as you come down through your swing, rotation of the wrist in a counterclockwise direction, releasing the ball off the ring finger and the pinky. As you can see by this demonstration, there is less rotation in the backup ball. Therefore, this makes it more accurate. I'll demonstrate both of these shots for you right now. The delivery of the backup ball starts in the stance. The thumb held at the 12 o'clock position. We then start our push away for our first step. As a second step, we get into the backswing. Now for the final slide, the ball comes down through the swing, and at the instep, we have a clockwise release right there. Good follow through. The ball now is on the left-hand side of the lane, breaking towards the right, coming into that left-hand pocket, and watch the action of these 3 pins on those corners. The perfect backup ball strike. Now the delivery of the hook ball starts in the stance with the ball held at the 3 o'clock position. As we start our push away, get the ball in motion. Going into our second step, we get a good backswing. Coming down through the swing now, releasing the ball at the instep with a good counterclockwise rotation. The ball on the right-hand side of the lane, making that break to the left. Hitting in the right-hand pocket now, and watch the action of these 3 pins on the corners. An excellent strike for the hook shot.
Ian has shown us there are 2 types of delivery for the 5-pin bowler, the backup ball and the hook ball. The backup ball moves left to right as it goes down the lane. The thumb is at the 12 o'clock position in the grip. The wrist rotates clockwise at the release. The backup ball is easier to control, and it's the recommended delivery for all 5-pin bowlers. The hook ball, on the other hand, moves right to left down the lane. The thumb is at the 3 o'clock position in the grip. The wrist rotates counterclockwise at the release. There is more rotation on the ball. It's somewhat more difficult to control.
While strikes are the easiest way to high scoring, we can't ignore the spare shots, which come into play several times during the game. There are 6 specific spare shots that we will examine. And in addition, I will give you some extra hints on how to spare those most difficult corner pins. The 6 spare shots we're going to look at are the 5-3-2 on the left side, the 5-3-2 on the right side, the 3-2 on the left side, the 3-2 on the right side, the left corner, and the right corner. For the 5-3-2 on the left side, I position my feet in the same place as a strike shot and bowl the ball over the center arrow for the spare. For the 5-3-2 on the right side, I again position my feet just for a strike shot and bowl the ball over the center arrow for the spare. For the 3-2 on the left side, I move my foot position 3 boards to the right. And again, throw the ball over the center arrow to make the spare. For the 3-2 on the right side, I move my foot position 3 boards to the left. And again, bowl the ball over the center arrow to make the spare. For the left corner, we're going to change arrows. Place your feet in the strike position, and now roll the ball over the first arrow left of the center and spare the corner. For the right corner, once again, we remain in the strike spot. But this time, aim for the first arrow to the right of center and spare the corner. In sparing, remember to bowl across the lane in this manner to increase your chance of making the spare. For the advanced or higher average bowler, let's look at 2 things. First, we're talking about more accuracy on the head pin. A 180 average bowler will raise their average to 215 if they can hit the head pin 2 times more per game. Extending that, your average will climb to 240 if you hit the head pin an average of 8 times per game on the first ball. Secondly, as well as improving your accuracy, here's another point that works for me. Watch your pin action, and especially the 3 pins. If they are flying around the corners, your ball may be too fast or have too much spin. Ideally, the 3 pins should fall into the corner pins to complete your strike. Remember, if your 3 pins are flying, slow down your ball or take some spin off. Before I go, I'd like to leave you with 5 points to remember. Concentrate, be consistent in your delivery, remember to use spot bowling to help improve your accuracy, practice at your local bowling center, And most of all, relax. Have fun 5-pin bowling.